Now, we've also been tracking the issue of cybersecurity, and Canada's Defence Minister is in China to have, what he's described as frank and open discussions about Ottawa's concerns with cyber hacking.
Well, Peter MacKay is the first Western Defence Minister to meet new Chinese Defence Chief General Chang Chuan. I sat down with Mr. MacKay over the weekend at a recent security forum in Singapore before he left for Beijing for this Channel NewsAsia exclusive. And I started by asking him why Canada is worried over cyber espionage.
This is of concern to Canada. I think it's of concern to many countries. It can impact your critical infrastructure. It can impact certainly your ability to have sensitive discussions, communications in government. And there is a broader international responsibility, I believe, to have a dialogue about the effects of cyber and the necessity for all countries to adhere to certain norms.
But when it comes to values between China and the rest of the world, there would be presumably some differences there. How do you convince China to look at all this in an international perspective?
Admittedly, it will take time. Admittedly, it will require a better understanding, I think, on behalf of perhaps both countries, but certainly we need to make our views known and express our concerns. Because we have seen recent examples in the United States where attacks on banking systems have caused no undue harm. And clearly, within the energy sector, with the necessity to protect critical infrastructure, as I mentioned before, government communications, and the private sector as well has a large role to play, in my view, when it comes to the protection of information and the security of various systems.
In terms of Canada's participation here in the Asian region, we always hear about Operation Cobra Gold, the Balikatan in the Philippines, and it's always predominantly an American military exercise with an Asian country. But does Canada participate?
Yes, we do. In fact, we just took place in a military exercise known as DIREX. We will participate in Cobra Gold. The RIMPAC exercise, which happens a little bit closer to Canada, but countries such as China will be participating this year. These are very important. They provide the ability to become more interoperable, which the utility is well known. So these exercises are critically important and allow our Navy, in the case of a naval exercise, to showcase its capabilities, to be able to work with and in some case raise our game, but also impart skills on other countries.
Okay, so we hear about the United States shifting its focus to Asia. What about Canada's engagement in this region? Will Canada also participate more with Asia or ASEAN?
One of our pursuits and one of our goals, in fact, is to become members of the ASEAN Defense Ministerial Plus. So the ADMM Plus is something we have in our sights. I've been engaged in numerous dialogues and bilaterals during my visit here on this occasion, as in previous years. And we'll continue to prove ourselves in a way that hopefully will gain admission to that group. We have bona fides. We talked about Canada's participation in numerous training exercises here. Our engagement, our signing of MOUs. During my time here, I've signed an MOU for further defense cooperation with Mongolia. We have similar agreements in place already with countries like the Philippines. And exchanges, like our military training assistance program, which in many cases has brought members of the military from numerous ASEAN countries to Canada to further their skills and to, in some cases, have language training and participate in our military education. So all of that, we believe, is a continuum and a path to not only a greater physical presence here, but becoming more integrated, more able to respond and contribute to Southeast Asian and Asia-Pacific security in a way that also brings benefits to Canada. Appreciate your interest.